Okay, so this is your Chapter 5 test review. We're going over the most important concepts from Chapter 5. But remember, your test tomorrow, just like your quiz, is very heavy. It's heavier than normal on the review section from Chapter 4. All right, there's only Chapter 4 review questions on your test tomorrow, though. It's not from the other chapters. Okay, so you guys ready? You either need an Expo marker and an eraser. You have erasers, or you need a blank sheet of paper and a pencil. Okay, everybody. All right, so here we go. Now, on the first one on graphing, you don't have to sketch the graph on your desk. Okay, it's way too time consuming. But I want to walk through this with you. You have, looking at your test right now, you have 2 questions on your test tomorrow that are exactly this. I was very surprised to see how many people missed this question on the quiz. Okay, so we need to go over again how to graph an equation. So on the first equation, everybody together, tell me, where does my first point go on this line? Where does my first point go? Negative 3. Okay, so I go down to a negative 3 and I plot my point. That is ginormous. Okay, hold on. All right, negative 3. All right, then where do I go from there? Where do I go from there?
1.
Yes, up to over 1. I follow my slope. If it's a whole number, I know it's over 1. So I go up to over 1 from that point, and then I draw my straight line through that point. Okay, there goes my straight line. Now I do my second equation. Now on my second equation, where does my first point go on that line?
2.
On a value of 2. Does everybody see my y-intercept is a 2? Okay, so plot your first point on a y value of 2. And then where do you go?
And then you go up 1 over 1.
Up 1 over 1. All right, so now my straight line, I might not have drawn my line long enough.
Yeah, because it should be 4.
Okay, that's a little off. All right, so then it should be 4, 4.
Wait, no.
No, there's no way. It should be 5, 7. 5, 7. All right, so they cross pretty stinking close to 5, 7. Now, I was flexible on your quiz as long as they crossed in the vicinity of where they were supposed to be, which means in the general area, I gave it to you. Remember, the solution is the ordered pair. So in this case, it would be 5, 7. If you were to say 5, 6, I would take that. All right, so just remember on your test tomorrow, use your badge to make a straight line where the lines intersect. I had multiple quizzes that only had 1 line on the graph. There were 2 equations, but there was only 1 line on the graph. When you get your quiz back in a few minutes, that's what I need you to look for. Okay? All right, so you have graphing. You have 2 substitution problems. Okay? So let's go over substitution. You have y equals negative 3x minus 7 and y equals x plus 9. What do you notice about this system? What do you guys notice?
That they both are in standard form.
Okay, they're both in slope-intercept. They both have y equals. They both have y equals. Do you notice that, Taylor? Do you notice that? Okay, so if they're both y equals, look at this. Negative 3x minus 7, guys. You plug it in for the other y on the other equation. Substitute it. Okay? Plug it in, rewrite the equation, and solve. All right, go ahead and do that. Let's see how much of this you can do on your own. Like I said, you have 2 substitution problems on your test tomorrow. All right, negative 3x minus 7. I plugged that in for y equals x plus 9. Just nod your head if you got that. Did you guys get that? Now you see x's on both sides of your equation. Which one are you going to move? Are you going to move your negative 3x or are you going to move your positive x? Negative 3x. How do you move it? You add 3x, okay, cancels, and then you add it to the other side. As long as you do it to both sides, you're not changing anything. Negative 7 equals 4x plus 9. All right? So now what do I do next? I need to solve for x. What do I do next? Need to solve for x. Minus 9. Okay? Because I've got to solve for 4x. What's negative 7 minus 9? Negative 16 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. X equals negative 4. Give me some thumbs up if you guys got that. Did you guys get negative 4? Okay, that's not a whole lot of thumbs up. Okay, did you guys get negative 4? If you got positive 4, it's going to mess up everything. So on your quiz, some of you would get the right number, but then you would miss your sign, which is going to throw off your y value. Got to make sure you double check your signs. So x equals negative 4. Now, how do you solve for y? Plug it back in. Okay? It can be either equation. So y equals negative 4 plus 9. What is negative 4 plus 9? 5. Your second substitution is usually much shorter than your first one. Please remember, I had some people get the right answer and forget to put it together in an ordered pair. All right, as long as I could tell what it was, I gave it to you. But remember, the correct answer is an ordered pair. The ordered pair is where those lines will cross. That's the solution. It makes both equations true. All right? How'd you guys do on that? Good. Okay. Let's do elimination. If we have time at the end, I'm going to go back and do one more of those. Okay. All right. Solving systems by elimination. You guessed it, 2 problems on your test tomorrow that are elimination. Okay. One of them is already the opposite, just like on your quiz. The other one, you have to create the opposite. Okay. So look at this system. Look at your X's and look at your Y's. Okay, go ahead and write the system down. As you're writing it down, I want you to look for opposites. Are they already in the system or do you need to create it? Okay, all right, go ahead and do that. Do you see opposites? Yes, you do. You see opposites here, okay? So now you're going to add everything else and bring it down. What is 2x plus 2x? 4x equals 40. Divide by 4. X equals 10. X equals 10. All right. What do you do with 10? What do you do with your x value? Plug it back in. It doesn't matter which one. So just plug it back into the first one. 2 times 10 plus 5y equals 60. 20 plus 5y equals 60. Now what do? What do you guys do now? Subtract 20. You're just solving a 2-step equation now. Subtract 20. 5y equals 40. Divide by 5. Y equals 8. All right. Is this how I write my answer? No. 10, 8. Guys, get them in the right order. I had a couple people got the X and the Y perfect and then in the ordered pair switched them in their answer. It's like literally they did all the hard work and then they switched it in ordered pair. Okay? X comes first and then Y. All right? Give me thumbs up if you guys got it. Did you guys get it? Okay? So elimination, when they're already the opposites, that can be really nice. Okay, your special systems. All right, your special systems is going to look a little bit different on your test tomorrow. You guys remember IXL? When we did this on IXL and we were like looking for the slope? Okay, so we're going to do this one first because you do have one of these on your test tomorrow that looks like this. All right. Remember, a special system is where my X and my Y both cancel out. So right now, do you think that you would want to do elimination or substitution? Just right off the bat when you're looking at them. Elimination for sure. Your X's and your Y's are both lined up. But the problem is neither one of them are the opposite. So you can't just add them together because you can't solve for X and Y at the same time. So you need either X or Y to cancel, which means you need to multiply the top equation by a number that will make either your X or your Y the opposite. All right, I just want to give you guys a minute to go ahead and write that down. See if you can come up with it. What is the number that you would multiply the top equation by? Now again, I can't tell you this on your test tomorrow. You're going to have to recognize, okay, nothing's the opposite, but I can make one of my terms the opposite pretty easily. I can multiply my top equation by a number. Go ahead and do it. I can multiply my top equation. Okay, go ahead and do it. Keep working. Top equation by a number that would make it the opposite. Rodney, what'd you multiply by? Yes. Did you guys multiply by -3? Anna, did you do that? All right. So now we get -9x, but don't forget, we have to multiply everything in the equation, not just the first one. -9x plus 6y equals -3. Then we bring over our second equation. 9x minus 6y equals 3. So my goal was for my x's to cancel. But what happens when I try to combine my y's? What happens? My y's cancel. What happens when I try to combine my 3's? They also cancel. Is this a true statement? Does 0 equal 0? It's infinite. It's infinite. It's not no solution, guys. It's infinite. Infinite solutions. All right? When 0 equals 0, when everything cancels, it's infinite. All right? Now, if it had said 0 equals 5, like if I combined these and it was 5, then that would be no solution. Okay? But it didn't. Any questions on that? All right, I'm going to give you another system. Okay? You have 3 questions on your test tomorrow. Like I said, you have one like that. Then I'm going to give you one that looks like this. Without showing any work. Without showing any work. Tell me how many solutions this system will have. Without showing any work. Write it down. Okay? So you can show work if you want, and you're just going to be doing all kinds of work when everybody else already has the answers on the next problem. What do you look for to determine the number of solutions? What do you look at? The slope. Okay? Look at your slope, guys. What do you notice about your slopes? They're the exact same. So, if the rise and the run is the exact same, what kind of lines do I have? Parallel. So now you look at the y-intercept. If your y-intercepts are different, that means one line crosses on a -5, The other one crosses on a positive 9. So this is no solution. Okay? So same slope, but different y-intercepts. This is no solution. All I want you to say is parallel lines. You must tell me parallel lines or same slope. Okay? So that way I know why you chose that answer. All right, let me give you another one. Y equals negative 4x minus 4 okay? All right, go ahead and answer this one. All right, so without showing any work, I want you to tell me if it's one solution, no solution, or infinite solutions. What do you guys notice about the equations? What do you notice? They're the exact same. So, those markers that we just talked about, are my slopes the same? Are my y-intercepts the same? That means that this line is the exact same line. Infinite solutions. Infinite solutions. So same line. Infinite solutions. If your solutions are infinite, that means that it's the same exact line. All right, I'm going to give you some statements now. So I need you guys to listen. You have 6 questions on your test tomorrow that are either multiple choice, short answer, or true and false. All right, so let's kind of go over this. All right. The solution to a linear system. Let's go back to our very first graph, which kind of gives you a visual. The solution to a linear system is the point where what happens? The lines cross. So if something crosses, what do I call that? It starts with an I. I call it intersecting, okay? So the solution to a system of equations is the point of intersection, where the lines cross, okay? What did we just say about parallel lines? Parallel lines have how many solutions?
One.
Parallel lines. Do they ever cross? Okay, so we just said that the solution to a system is the point of intersection. Do parallel lines ever cross? So what is my solution for parallel lines? No solution. Okay, so parallel lines have no solution. What are my 3 methods to solve a system of equations? I have, what do I have up here? What do I have up here? Graphing. What are my other methods of solving a system? Substitution and elimination. All 3 of those methods come up with the same answer. It's just whichever one is easier to get to my answer. All right, so I have graphing, substitution, and elimination. All right, so hear what I just said, guys, because this is important. No matter which method I use, will they all give me the same answer? Yes. Now, one of the methods is probably going to be the easiest way, right? So we've talked about when you have different choices, don't you want to choose the easiest choice or the fastest choice, right? Right, Drummond? You don't want to choose the long way just for the fun of it, do you? But no matter which method you choose, they will all give you the same solution. All right, so all along this whole review time, I've said, how should you write your answer? As a what? Ordered pair. Ordered pairs are the solution to a system. So if I were to give you a statement that I said, ordered pairs are the solution or are not the solution, what would you say? They are the solution. The ordered pair is the solution to a system. All right? Will there always be a solution? No. Didn't we just say sometimes there's no solution? So sometimes there's no solution. Most of the time there is, but sometimes there's not. All right, let's move on to chapter 4. Okay. For your chapter 4, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 10 questions from chapter 4. 10 questions. All right. That looks very similar to your quiz review questions. What is the formula for slope-intercept? Y equals mx plus b. Okay, you have a question on your test tomorrow where you need to find the slope and y-intercept. So go ahead and do that. Negative 3x plus 2y equals 10. Go ahead and find your slope and your y-intercept, please. All right, what is the first thing I'm going to do to solve for y? What do I do first, guys? Tell me. Add 3x to the other side. In order to determine slope and y-intercept, it has to be in slope-intercept form. So 2y equals, 3x, not 3y, equals 3x plus 10. Now what do I need to do across the whole equation, guys? Divide by 2. Now I can say, okay, I had a lot of people leave their answer just like this on the quiz. Did you tell me M and B? No, you wrote it in slope-intercept, so now you're ready to say it, but then you didn't say it. Okay, so what is my M? 3 over 2, not x, not x. What is my B? 5. This is your answer. You will lose points on your test tomorrow if you just leave it the equation. You did the hard work. Now just tell me M equals B equals. Okay? All right. You're going to have to write equations tomorrow. You have one equation just like this first one. Okay? And you have one just like the second one. All right, what do you do first? What 2 pieces of information do you need to write an equation? Slope, y-intercept. Find your slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Double negative changes to a positive. Negative 2 over negative 4. What does that reduce to? 1 over 2. Okay? Now, does either ordered pair tell me the y-intercept? Yes. Okay, so that's good. That means I don't need point slope. Y equals 1/2 x minus 4. The negative 4 is my y-intercept because it's paired with an x value of 0. Okay, so that's my answer. Look over at the next one. It says write the equation in what? Point slope form. So that means all you have to do is substitute the numbers. All right, Talanda?
Oh, never mind.
Okay. All right, so let's do this together. Let's say it together. Y minus 5 equals 2 times x minus 2. That's all you have to do on this problem. All right, so just as a reminder, my formula was y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And all you have to do is plug in the numbers on your test tomorrow. Okay, maybe I'll give you a point bonus if you solve it. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of equations here. I'm going to give you a couple equations. I want you to tell me what format it's written in. So you have 3 choices. It's either in slope-intercept, it's in point slope, or it's in standard form. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an equation. All right, so I'm going to say all right, so this is equation number 1. and this is equation number 2. I want you to just write on your desk, tell me what form these equations are written in. Okay, go ahead and do that. All right, what do you guys think about the first one? Standard form. Standard form. What about the second one? It's in slope intercept. Hopefully by now you're like saying that in your sleep, right? You're like, okay, I know what slope intercept is. Okay? All right. I'm going to give you, this counts as 2 questions on your test tomorrow. That counts as 2, and this next problem counts as 2. I'm going to give you the equation negative 2x plus 4y equals 20. Okay? What form is that written in? Standard form. I'm going to tell you to find the x and the y intercept of this equation. Find the x, good Hayden, and the y-intercept of this equation. So does that mean to write it in slope intercept? No. Does anybody remember what is your hint? No, Tristan, no. No. Good, you're doing it, Tyler. How many times do you need to write it? Twice. Okay? So find the x-intercept and find the y-intercept of this equation. Okay? So this is going to count as 2 questions on your test tomorrow. So right here, what we're looking at, this is 16 points of your test tomorrow. All right? It's just recognizing the format and determining your x and y intercepts. Go. Don't put them together. This is not a system, okay? So to solve for x, I cancel out y. Divide by negative 2. What did you guys get? X equals what? Negative 10. That is its own ordered pair. Negative 10, 0. To solve and get negative 10, you had to plug in a 0 for y. Okay? So that's its own ordered pair. Now to solve for y, x must cancel. Divide both sides by 4. And y equals 5. So what is that ordered pair? 0, 5. Okay? They're 2 separate ordered pairs. All right? One more. All right. This is your chapter 3 question. Got that little guy. This is your chapter 3 question. 42 degrees. Okay, this is your chapter 3 question. This is only one question on your test, so that means x will count as 2 points and y will count as 2 points. You can solve them in any order, okay, so don't really care about that. There's several ways that you can solve this. I don't care which method you use. I just want to know, what does x equal and what does y equal? Okay, so go ahead and solve this. Okay, so y equals the sum of the 2 non-adjacent interior angles. So 60 plus 42 is what? 102 degrees. Now, if you know that y is 102 degrees and it's supplementary to x, you can just subtract it from 180. Or to solve for x, you could say 102 plus x equals 180. Subtract 102, and x equals 78 degrees. All right, so x is 78 and y is 102. Any questions on that? What is my formula to find slope with ordered pairs? M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, we've officially gone over everything that's going to be on your test tomorrow.